Welcome to Well-Rounded. I'm your host, Tiffany Parker. Hello, what's up? It's me, it's Tiffany, coming at you live, well, not live, the day before, for another Well-Rounded Wednesday. Happy to be here, just little old me again. Many items of business, gonna try to keep it short and sweet. First things first, there is a fly in this room, and I cannot find it. And every now and then I'm teaching a lesson, I'm making content, whatever, and I can just hear it buzzing and I don't know where it is. I can't find it. It sounds like it's buzzing around the light, but alas, it is not, because that is the first place I checked. And I remember when it flew in here during a lesson, I couldn't just stop and kill it like I usually do. Usually I'm swift as a coursing river when it comes to unwanted creatures in my apartment. But I was in the middle of a lesson and it's one of those big ones. It's a big one that's loud. So anyways, it's like, if you ever read The Telltale Heart by Edgar Allan Poe, it's kind of like that, where he's like constantly hearing like the doo 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 doo, the heartbeats under the floorboards because he killed someone. Spoiler alert. It's like that, but with a fly. And I would love to kill the fly. Actually, I would love to put the poor thing out of its misery, because clearly it's trying to escape somewhere and I don't know where that is. And so at some point it is going to die, and I'm gonna be like moving stuff, or I'm gonna have someone come and like professionally vacuum the carpets, and there's gonna be a massive dead fly corpse. And that's gross. That's gross, and I hate that. So I just had to complain about it. Can't find him. He's definitely stuck in this room though, because I only hear it in this room. Every now and then though, I hear a little something in my bedroom, and I'm like, is that the ghost of the fly coming to haunt me? I don't know. Maybe it's the Halloween season. Maybe it's spooky season. Got me all up in my head, Edgar Allan Poe style. I don't know. Okay, anyways, being able to hear this well, it's a gift and a curse. Okay, next item of business, little bit sadder, but hopefully hopeful. If you are a praying person, and if you're not, totally fine, but maybe pray for just this one thing. My brother has a golden retriever. He has two. One of them's name is Maverick. He is adorable. He is exactly the stereotype of a golden retriever. Perky, cute, fun, super duper well trained, so sweet. Hardly ever barks, things like that. He has cancer, and it's so sad, and we're all checking in on him every day through our family group texts and stuff, and he's only 2. That's the thing, is he is not an old doggy. He's got many a thing to chase. He's got many a plushies to destroy still. So if you're a praying person, please pray for little old Maverick of the Parker family, because we all love him. He's so sweet, and he needs to get better, because this is just not a thing. We can't be having cancer in innocent puppies, okay? We just gotta nip that in the bud. We caught it early, and he's going through chemo and stuff like that, so he's off his oral chemo right now, last I heard, and he's doing a little bit better, but he's thrown up, he's had some diarrhea, things like that. And it's just so sad, because he's such a well-trained dog. I remember watching him as a puppy, and then watching him in his teen years when my brother still lived in Utah, and things like that. Like, such a well-behaved dog. My brother spent a lot of time training him, and he's so sweet, and he's so fun, and he has a little brother named Midas, and they just need to have many, many, many years left together. Because, yeah, we're not doing this cancer thing, okay? No. None of that. Okay, so keep little Maverick in your prayers. He's so cute. I just want to go snuggle his face. Okay, next item of business. I'm in the market for a car. Because my car, I would like to trade it while I still have some value on it before it hits 100,000 miles. And I really need to drive home for Thanksgiving and for Christmas. And it's about 600 plus miles there and back. So it's like 1,200 per trip. And I really don't want to put 2,400 miles on it and then try to sell it. So if you happen to know anyone who has, I don't know, Rolls Royce and is selling it for $1, let me know, because I would love to have it. I'm not picky though. Ferrari, Corvette, Ford Raptor, I'll take it. You know, they're selling it for $100. I'm your gal. So let me know. Car stuff is Dante's, what is it, 8th circle of hell, 9th circle of hell. It's an extra circle of hell is the point. And I think that cars suck, but I love cars at the same time. It's all very vexing. It's all very confusing. Worst part of adulting though, having car troubles, having to look for a car. The car market right now, let me just tell you, also garbage. Much like everything else in the market is kind of garbage right now. But again, I want to get rid of my car so that something tragic doesn't happen, then I have to get rid of my car. You know what I mean? I like the low pressure kind of a situation. But I stayed up till about 3 a.m. Monday night, looking at Carvana, CarMax, Facebook Marketplace, doing all sorts of filters, looking at all sorts of things. And it was horrible. And then I spiraled and started thinking of my business. And then I started thinking about the podcast. And then I started thinking about when I'm going to go to the gym. And then, and then it just kind of spiraled and I didn't go to bed till 3 a.m. So, that's great. Okay. Last but not least, before we get into the good stuff, Dancing with the Stars. Never watched it a day in my life until now, because there are 2 American Olympians on it. There's Alona Mar, which, unless you don't have social media, is a very popular, viral Olympian rugby player for Team USA. And they got a gold or a bronze medal. Very big deal. Hilarious videos on the internet. She's so fun. Like, she creates the kind of content that I dream of creating, but like music and singing and voice teaching related. You know what I mean? So we're working on it. Hilarious, love her, and she is the epitome of body positivity that the world actually needs. So awesome. If you don't know who she is, look her up. And then we have Steven Nedorozic, who is the what is it, pommel horse? Yeah, he's the pommel horse guy who's now being called Clark Kent because he took off his glasses before doing his routine, and he spent time specializing in just that one event, and he absolutely nailed it. And I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, he's the reason why the men's gymnastics team got a medal for the first time in many decades. And he's just adorable. Like, he's just like such a nerd. He's such a nerd, so dorky looking, kind of has that like kind of dorky like hee laugh. But so adorable, so sweet. He's killing it too. He's doing a really good job in his dance routines too. It's just been so fun. And then there's some people from The Bachelor, there's some reality stars, there's some athletes, there's a really hot football player on there who's actually doing such a good job. He's such a good dancer. The best dancer, I think, goes between this one young female actress. I think she's in the newest rendition of Pretty Little Liars. I only know all this stuff because they give background on the show, except for the Olympians. If you listened over the summer, I watched the Olympics like it was my day job. And so then, yeah, so she's really good. And then there's a guy from The Bachelor, super hot, super sweet too. Like, he seems not douchey like a lot of the guys on The Bachelor have been. And I was like, after watching Dancing with the Stars, I'm like, do I want to get back into The Bachelor and Bachelorette? I don't actually, but dang, he's really attractive. He's really attractive, and he's doing so well. Like, he's so good. So anyways, I am obsessed with it. It's going right now, and for the first time in my life, I have voted as well. I voted for Alona Mara. You can vote for like 10, you can vote for each contestant like 10 times per couple or something like that. Voted for her all 10 times. If you were to look at my phone, it's like Alona, like all in green. And I finally didn't miss it because you can watch it live, but it airs live later. And so then by that time, voting's closed. So anyways, I didn't miss it. I had to sit and vote for Alona before I recorded this podcast. So anyways, those are some things. So now on to the main event. I was listening to one of my favorite podcasts, The Bad Broadcast. Thank you, Addie, for introducing that to me. She's hilarious. She inspired me to start this podcast. And she has made this amazing thing that all of her fans want every year now. And she calls it the Booed Broadcast. And she shares spooky stories. She shares like funny stories, like from listener submitted stuff, and then she has a friend come and give a synopsis of like a really scary movie that none of us should ever be watching ever in our lives, and things like that. Super duper fun. And I was just listening and catching up on that last night, and I feel so lame. I have nothing for you guys for Halloween. I don't like Halloween that much. Halloween is not the holiday that we go hard for in my family. If I had kids though, I will say, if I had kids, if I ever have kids, we will be popping off. We will be going hard. Like, I already have plans for like family theme stuff, and like all the sorts of stuff. I have them saved on my Pinterest. Like, I feel like Halloween with kids would be really fun. And then if I had enough money to buy decor and decorate my house and stuff, I feel like that'd be really fun. This year was the first year where I've actually genuinely really wanted to decorate my apartment for Halloween and for Thanksgiving. I grew up in a home where my mom decorated pretty extensively. We had a decent sized house growing up. My childhood home has been sold since, but we had a decent sized house, and my mom went all out for all of the holidays, and I loved it. And she had like slightly different Halloween versus Thanksgiving ones. She kind of kept most of that up the same the whole time, because we don't do like scary, creepy, spooky stuff at all. We do cutesy Halloween, and so like it's just a lot of glittery pumpkins and fake fall leaves and things like that, because fall leaves don't exist in Mesa, Arizona. Yeah, thought the 4 seasons was a myth until I moved here, and I was like, oh, leaves do actually change color. That's not just an art project people made me do in elementary school. Who knew? So yeah, so really cute decor and stuff. That stuff's just kind of expensive. And I love a theme, and I love decorating. So my holiday that I celebrate and decorate for is Christmas, because it just brings me so much joy and so much cheer. I'm looking at my little animatronic Santa Snoopy right now. He stays in the music room year round because he has a trombone. And then when it's Christmas time, so basically in like a few weeks for me, when I start setting up Christmas stuff, he moves to the living room so that people all around can press his paw and listen to the Peanuts song in a Santa thing. Way cuter than a dancing Santa, let me tell you. Those kind of give me the heebie-jeebies a little bit. So anyways, that was a long way of saying I'm lame when it comes to Halloween. So I am stealing an idea from Maddie Murphy of The Bad Broadcast. I would love to have her on, by the way, so if anyone wants to like spam her, that would be so fun. But she did something where she shared like her own personal graveyard and things that are, I think this is what she said. I was kind of in and out last night, because I was looking at clothes all night. And so she's like personal graveyard. So things that need to die. They need to go, they need to die. And so it's like habits, it's, things that are annoying, or things that society has said this is important and it's really not, things like that. So I have made a listy poo of my own personal graveyard. I was going to try and do like 28 things, because I'm 28, but that's just a lot. And that's a little bit lofty of a goal. Some of this stuff, it's like, I'm going to try to work on this better than I am. Some of it, it's just, yeah, that's got to go. But some of it, it's like, I need to be better about this, and we got to keep that within a reasonable limit there. So yeah, it's my personal graveyard. So I'm just going to go down my list here. It's not really organized well, because I've been thinking of things all day, but just barely got to writing them down, today and like an hour ago. I also got my nails done. So I do participate in a Halloween festivities with my nails. And then I need to get ingredients to make my mom's famous Nutter Butter Ghost cookies. They're scrumdiddlyumptious and the easiest thing you could possibly make. And they're cuter than anything else you've ever seen. So, okay, my personal graveyard, some of them are going to be serious, some of them are going to be silly, some of them are going to be in between. So buckle up and maybe think of your own personal graveyard. I know, like, usually we think of goals and stuff for the new year, blah, blah, blah. We never achieve them. Take the moment to figure out what's out. We have 2.5 months left of the year, and I think they need to slay, and I think they need to be a blast and a half. That's what we're shooting for. So, okay, my first one, just blindly serving people without thinking about it. Now, that sounds a little bit selfish. Here's the thing. My love language is acts of service, giving and receiving. If someone wants to show that they love me in the most effective way possible, do something to help me, do something to serve me. And it doesn't need to be like, wash my feet and massage my ankles, like nothing like that, but like little things that people do to make my life just a little bit easier, really, really mean a lot to me, and I'm not going to embellish on that because I might start crying. But then I find, it's also my giving language, because in case you haven't noticed from the podcast, I'm not always super articulate or super great with my words. That's why I tried to sing them. And so I love to serve people. I like feeling like I'm needed, and I like feeling like I have something to give someone that can help make their life easier, or can help lighten their load, or help make them feel better. Like I love doing things like that for people. And so I have noticed on the nights like last night where I stay up till 3 a.m. thinking about anything and everything instead of sleeping, I've realized that I tend to just say yes when people ask for things, and then several favors later I realize that they haven't done anything for me. And I don't serve people and I don't help people expecting anything in return. Obviously, that defeats the point. But there is a fine line though between giving and giving and giving, and then your cup being empty, and things like that. And I've noticed that happen, and then or friends will kind of disappear for a while until they need something. And I sometimes just say yes, because it's like, oh, I'd love to be helpful. I love to feel needed. Like I have this extra bed here in this room, and because this is not my bedroom, by the way, this is my music room. But there's a spare bed in here, because why not? And so, like, I've had people stay with me before, or I've had people, and not just here, but in like my last apartment in college, or my last apartment before this apartment, or my apartment in college, because I've had that extra space, or I've had a really big bedroom, and I love a little girl sleepover night, especially because my parents didn't let me have sleepovers when I was little, and I'm actually really grateful for that. That's all I'm gonna say about that. So yeah, I've caught myself doing it again recently where like people ask me for something, I'll say yes. And I just say yes and then I offer that, or I'm a little bit too forgiving or understanding with my voice students when they like, oh, they lost track of time and so they missed our lesson or things like that. Like I've just noticed that I have kind of been doing that here and there a little bit. And so the thing I'm going to try to kill and put in the graveyard is thinking about my time and thinking about what I have room to give to others, and not just, and being a little bit smart and being a little bit conscious about it so that I don't end up exhausting myself or making myself sad or things like that. Because I have been taken advantage of. I have had friends take advantage of me in the past, and to discover that years later is really upsetting, and it's kind of embarrassing. And it's like, wow, I did all that for them, and I think they just took advantage of it, you know? So yeah, trying to kill that. On that note, trying to get friends to put in effort. I think these maybe kind of go hand in hand with each other, because I think like, oh, if I do this for them, or if I get them this gift for their birthday or this thing or whatever, that like, oh, maybe they'll want to do the same thing for me. Not how that works. That's not how a lot of human nature works. Nowadays, that's how my brain works. But yeah, trying to like, not love bomb, but trying to like get my friends to put in effort by putting in too much effort myself, you know? So I think those two kind of go hand in hand. And I really need to be better about that. And I need to just kind of take a step back and think about what I can reasonably do. That doesn't mean I'm going to stop like offering or serving or anything like that. And I want to do more and be better about that too, because I've been a slacker. But like being smart about it and making sure I'm taking care of myself first. I'm a very firm believer that, of course, we should all be helping each other and looking out for each other, but you can't help others if you can't help yourself, though. You know what I mean? It's like, that's why you put the mask on yourself first in an airplane, and then you put it on the infant or whatever. You know what I mean? So anyways, that's my first 1.5 graveyard items. Next thing, I'm giving up on thinking that I can be a morning person. Okay? Listen, I know it's a mindset thing. You can train your body, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, listen, here's the thing. I can wake up in the mornings and I can be on time to work in the mornings. Okay? Doesn't happen that often, but I can do it. I have done it. But that doesn't make me a morning person, though. And, you know, I always tell myself, I always have these delulu thoughts that like, you know, no, I can do this. I can get up and be a early gym person. Heck to the no. I've been trying it for years. And all through high school, we had AM seminary. I actually never did AM seminary because I'm not a morning person. But I did have the top choir had class at the exact same time. So we were singing at 6:45 in the morning. Don't know how that happened because I can barely make it to my 9 a.m. meetings on Wednesdays. But yeah, it's gotta go. We just gotta accept it. And you know, everyone tries to like, oh, you can do it and blah, blah. No, I can't. I really cannot, and I shall not, and I will not. And the minute I get my circadian rhythm nice and flowing, I have a tech week, and I'm not getting home till 11:30 midnight anyways. And so then it completely messes it up. Okay. So if I want to be a morning person, I can't be a theater person, and I'd rather be a theater person than a morning person because mornings suck and I feel crappy in the mornings. My throat is tired in the morning. It's just, I have to get out of bed. Horrible. I have to put on a bra. Horrible. It's not happening. And I think people just need to accept that from me, and they just need to love me as I am. Okay. Again, that doesn't mean I won't go to things early. I'm always on time for church though, which is something. Not on time to my meetings, on time to church though. And I think the Lord counts that, you know? So yeah, stop trying to get me to be a morning person. It's not going to happen. I'll be professional. I'll show up where I need to be, but like, just don't talk to me for 30 minutes and just let me warm up a little bit. Okay? Just let it go. Stop harassing me. Okay. Wow. That one got me really fired up. Okay. Next on my list, getting rid of clothes that don't stretch. I have like a handful of clothes that are kind of cute, but they don't wash very well, and then they don't stretch. So even when I was really, really skinny, they would like sit uncomfortably on my body, but I spent money on them and I was like, no. So we're just gonna get rid of clothes that are maybe not just clothes that stretch, but like clothes that just don't lay well, aren't flattering, are difficult to wear, or like clothes. I hate clothes that you have to like fidget with all day. Like, no one has time for that. You know what I mean? So, gotta go in the graveyard, death, straight to jail, whatever. Next thing on my list, messed up hormones to the grave. I talked about getting my blood drawn, horrible experience. And I got my results back, and I'm working with a nutritionist, not a stupid nutritionist, a smart one who knows her crap and most importantly understands the female body. And so I am deficient in cortisol, vitamin D, couple other things we're keeping an eye on, and I am taking a butt ton of supplements, and I think they're working. I feel really good. I've been eating really healthy, which is the most important part of that. But yeah, we gotta get these hormones back in check because I don't have the time. I just need my body to be functioning how it's supposed to be functioning. Okay? And I will swallow whatever pills I need to take. I am taking a lot of supplements, and it feels weird because I'm not a supplement person, but there's this other place that I was looking at here in Utah, and they like insert these pellets under your skin. Nope, not doing that. No, thank you, especially because I can't so much as handle a needle in my arm. So that's for sure not happening. Pretty sure my body will go into shock if we try to like put anything under my skin like that. So nay, no. So yeah, bad hormones, messed up hormones. We're gonna get your girly pop right, and she's gonna be 30 and thriving, okay? But like by the time she's 29, which is March. Gross. Okay, next thing, being insecure at the gym, okay? And I'm gonna combine two: being insecure at the gym and being embarrassed to say that I'm trying to lose weight. Spoiler alert, I'm trying to lose weight. I don't think that's anything to be ashamed of. And a lot of people, I've been trying to lose weight like my whole life. I did lose a lot of weight and I gained a bunch back. So I'm working on losing it. That's partly why my hormones are a mess. But here's the thing. Whenever you say to someone that you're trying to lose weight, they're always like, oh, you don't need it. You're perfect, blah, 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 blah. No, I'm not. I'm really not. I ate a bunch of garbage. My body tried to handle it as best it could, didn't, messed up my hormones. I'm not light on my feet. Things hurt. I don't feel good. And trying to fix all that is not a problem. I'm not going and getting lipo. I'm not going and doing anything crazy. Nothing wrong if you get lipo or whatever. Some people do need that, but I'm not like going and getting any dangerous procedures or anything like that. Like, I'm trying to do it all healthily, and I am doing it healthily. And that just takes time. And I feel like truly loving your body is taking care of it. And acknowledging like, yeah, I made some poor choices. I think it's okay to acknowledge that I made some really dumb choices, and I caved into every single chocolate craving and donut craving and bread craving and hot sauce craving. Well, hot sauce is actually pretty good for you. And I will not stop consuming hot sauce, by the way. And things like that. Like, I made some dumb choices, and now I have to pay the price, and I have to do the work to get back to my former glory. And I think that's okay. And so being embarrassed, not being embarrassed, but being insecure at the gym, so dumb. First of all, I think even at a Vasa, I think most people are not paying attention to each other. In fact, I know most people are not paying attention because some people stand way too freaking close to me in the turf area. I do a lot of stuff in the turf area because the stupid men like commandeer and monopolize all of the machinery, and they just stay there all day, and then they shoot the breeze with their friends. It's so annoying, and I don't want to talk to them at that point because I'm irritated. And so I spend a lot of time in the turf, and some people just like are really not spatially aware. I'm like, here's an unspoken rule that we need at least a foot or two of space between people so that we can have room to move, so we have room to breathe, so that we have room to, you know, maybe have some bad form for a rep or so, or whatever, you know, and like lose our balance or whatever. Yeah, some people are not getting that. So some people are definitely not aware of anyone but themselves at that gym. But going to the gym is like you're doing the thing. You know what I mean? And I think there's a special place in hell for people who mock overweight people at the gym. So I am going to change my mindset and not be insecure about going to the gym, because I am trying to lose weight and I'm doing it healthily. I'm not doing Ozempic or anything else. I'm going to do it the right way. I'm going to heal my hormones, and I'm going to be sexy, and it's going to be over for all of you because I got a great personality, got great natural hair. Not today. That's why it's in a ponytail, but my hair is great. It's all natural. No extensions. Suck it, Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. And so when I get to my sexy buff body that it was at before, y'all ain't gonna be ready for it. It's gonna be too much to handle. I'm just saying. So buckle up, Buttercup. She's coming. All right, next thing. Being shy, talking about all the things I'm doing. Something I've noticed that's a little bit embarrassing for me to admit as someone who's very comfortable hearing herself talk, very comfortable being in front of people, and very much enjoys the spotlight. I get a little embarrassed or insecure talking about the things I'm doing. Like I've learned that some very few people in my life, unless you follow me on social media, know that I have a podcast. And that's because it's a little uncomfortable for me to advertise or advocate for. It's kind of uncomfortable, and that feels so dumb. It's also, as I've launched my website and shared stuff about my business and created all this stupid content, like that's also embarrassing too. And it kind of goes back to what I talked about a couple episodes ago, where I just need to be comfortable letting people watch me try hard. And that's really hard. I'm not doing a very good job. And I've noticed, so I had an acting class in college where he like really psychoanalyzed all of us. And he was like, notice how she's looking away in that moment because she's uncomfortable or she's embarrassed. And so now it was like a really hard class, and me and that professor actually fought a lot and disagreed about a lot of things, but he made me very, very hyperly aware of myself and of other people's human nature and reading body language and stuff like that. And so I've noticed that when I talk about something that I really, really, really care about and that I really want to be successful, like my website, like my business, like my podcast, things like that, I've noticed that I look away, or I'll like look down, or I'll do like basic I'll do the typical insecure, shy things that people do when they're uncomfortable. And I catch myself doing it. And I'm like, gosh, dang it. And it's like, and it's so weird because I genuinely like performing in front of people. And I like giving talks in church, and I like talking on the stand, and I like conducting the choir. I love being in front of people, but for some reason, when I care really, really hard, and I care about those other things too. I care about performing and things like that. But it just feels more natural. It feels more comfortable. I don't feel like I have to try hard because I just have to do the thing. But yeah, it's like really uncomfortable. And so I've noticed that I do some of those body language things that lack confidence. And that is not the celebrity energy we're working on. So I'm going to stop being shy about talking about all the things that I'm doing, because I think they're a lot of fun. And hopefully, I like to think that all of these things make me an interesting person. Running my own business, have a podcast that I do literally everything for by myself. It's a lot of freaking work, by the way. But I love it, and it's fun, and I think that hopefully makes me interesting. And so I don't know why I subconsciously am a little embarrassed to talk about it. Feels silly. But that's human nature. So I'm going to try and put that shyness in the grave, because you got to get uncomfortable to be successful, you know? I'm going to have a lot of money, and then I'm going to be able to sell a Rolls Royce for $1. Okay? Just kidding. If I get money, I'm not wasting it on a car. Stupid. Okay. Anyways, I'm a little bit on one right now. All right, let's see. What's next? Posting content on Instagram I don't care about or that feels too cold and logistical. Here's the thing. I am taking a course. It's not a course, like it's a subscription thing. And it's this girl who's like this social media marketing expert. That's literally her business. She was able to retire her husband and blah, blah, blah. And she shares some really, really helpful tips, but they're very kind of clinical tips. And they're things that I've realized. I was talking to my nail tech today when I got my nails done. They're beautiful. And I've realized that a lot of that stuff doesn't really work for a service per se. It doesn't, and not that it doesn't work, but I'm not really selling a product. I'm selling me. I'm selling me and I'm selling a service. And I have products on my website. Like you can get a customized set of vocal warm-ups for $15, and then I have we can do like a audition workshop boot camp thing, and then like I have some products, but they're still service products. Okay, but I did get a shirt. Did get a shirt. I'm testing out some shirts, so I will have some products eventually. That's like way down the works though, like way in the future. And things like that, but I'm selling a service, and so a lot of these clinical things like using the trending audio and, inviting a call to action in your byline thing or whatever, like that stuff just isn't really working for me. And all of the vocal coaches on Instagram who are doing well and are getting a lot of engagement are doing singing stuff. They're singing more on Instagram, and I need to just start doing that because I love singing. I feel like I'm good at it, and that's what I'm trying to coach, and so I kind of got to prove that I can do it too. You know what I mean? And so for some reason, again, I've just been very insecure about doing that. And that's just dumb. It's literally what I do, and that's literally what I want to do the most. Okay, I love audio engineering, but like, dang, I just want to perform. I just want to perform anywhere and everywhere. I want to teach workshops. I want to teach master classes. I want to, be a public speaker. Like I want to do all these things that are performance related, and yet my sissy butt can't get myself to create singing content on Instagram. So, and the stuff I've been creating, I'm not loving, except for my little infographics. I think they're hilarious. I think they're brilliant. But like, they're not getting a lot of traction. And I think it's because I'm giving off an energy of like, oh, this is kind of just half baked. And then also it's not super enjoyable. There's kind of a lot of stuff like that. And a lot of feedback that I'm seeing from people is that they're tired of the business stuff. They're tired of the like strict, like, do you want to learn how to lower your cortisol? Do these following steps, blah, blah, blah. I think a lot of people are tired of that. They want stuff that's funny. They want stuff that's interesting. They want stuff that's quick and helpful. And so that's just kind of been a big learning curve. So I'm so sorry for the really boring content that I've been sharing. If you thought it's boring in your head and you were too nice to not tell me, I apologize. We're working on it. It's a work in progress. You got to learn, you got to pivot. That's how business goes. Also, speaking of cortisol, I hope these people that are seeing that on Instagram and are advocating for that on Instagram are being careful, because my cortisol was dangerously low. So trying to lower it would not be the right move. You need cortisol, people. Anyways, that was a side note. Okay. On that, posting content, some of these are kind of combined. Reading too much into engagement. It's starting to affect my brain, and I do not want to be one of those social media obsessed people. I want to use social media as a tool to build my business, and I want to use it as a way of staying connected to people that do not live near me. I tried doing an Instagram fast because that's my main platform. I have Facebook and stuff, but I don't have TikTok, and I can't get myself to do TikTok. I feel like it's kind of a toxic environment. I just don't want to go there. But yeah, I'm reading so much into engagement. I don't want to be one of those people that's obsessed with Instagram, and that's all we think about and things like that. Like, I still want to be present. I still want to talk to people on the phone. I still want to interact in person. I still want to do all those things. I put a lot of value in those things. I think Instagram is a great tool to stay connected with people. And when I did that fast, I felt really lonely, which sucked. I have a bite on my arm. Gosh dang it. It's itchy. And it made me really sad because I felt really lonely. But that doesn't need to be my whole personality, and I don't want it to be my whole personality. So I need to just stop caring too much about engagement and watch. The minute I post something where I'm like, I don't care how this does, it's going to take off. And that's just how it is. And that's upsetting. So I'm going to stop that. In the grave, death. Here lies caring about Instagram engagement. There you go. Okay. This one's a little sillier. Being embarrassed for my love of nerdy things. I am a nerd. And I don't care who knows. I love all the nerdy things. I love Harry Potter. I love Lord of the Rings. Love Lord of the Rings. I love Star Wars. I went through a Star Wars phase, not loving a lot of the latest stuff. I couldn't even get through The Mandalorian, and that one was actually pretty good. But yeah, I can't do it anymore. 7, 8, 9 were really disappointing. 1 through 6, love those. Obsessed. Qui-Gon Jinn, Obi-Wan, love ya. Anakin, hot. Luke Skywalker, kind of annoying, but he's also the voice of Fire Lord Ozai in Avatar: The Last Airbender, which I'm also a nerd about, and I don't care because it's awesome and it fills me with joy. I literally have, if you're watching on YouTube, I have a Hylian shield pillow from Ocarina of Time, from Zelda, The Legend of Zelda, not just Ocarina of Time. It's gonna take up the whole thing. That my brother got me for Christmas, and I love it, and it's actually really soft, and it has straps on the back so that you can actually wear it like a shield, and it sits in my living room daily. And I don't care who knows. I grew up watching Pokemon. I grew up playing Nintendo 64. I grew up watching Indiana Jones. I love reading books. My mother made me read a lot of books growing up. I read the Odyssey, or a variation of the Odyssey, when I was like 8. Love Greek mythology. I love the Sarah J. Maas stuff I'm reading. I have a lot of opinions about it. But I love reading books, all the things. And I just, sometimes I'm like, oh, I'm a closet nerd. No. She's a nerd, loud and proud baby. Okay, so that's going in the graveyard. In the graveyard, never to rise again. Okay? Being embarrassed for my love of nerdy things. We just gotta own. We own nerdiness in this house, okay? And on this podcast, all right? So, your fellow nerd right here. All right, last few. I'm going to work on missing out on things. Let me rephrase. I'm going to work on not missing out on things I want to do or dreams I want to chase for work. So I work at BYU, love it there. I love BYU, genuinely. My boss there is awesome. But I have this problem of canceling things that I really want to do or that are great opportunities for performance-y things for work. And not just BYU, like, this has been a problem since I got into audio engineering, because it's very time consuming sometimes and things like that. I need to create better boundaries with work, because I love audio engineering. I'm so grateful. My boss is amazing, things like that, but it is just a job. And sometimes I think what makes that job hard for me personally is that some people take it really, really seriously. Like too seriously, or the people we work with or work for take it too seriously. And it's like, dude, you're taking the fun out of the arts, and the arts are supposed to be the most fun for everybody. Okay. And so, I want to be better about, obviously I'll be where I need to be, and I'm very good at planning things and stuff. So it's not like, hey, bye, I'm not going to come to work anymore. Not like that. I'm not that kind of a person. And again, I do love my job, and I care about the students a lot, and I want to help them be successful. But sometimes I'm a little too forthright and I'm a little too giving with that. It goes back to my first one, just blindly serving and saying yes because I like feeling needed. I just need to be better about that and remembering, like, this might not be the end game. I don't know if it is the end game. I don't know how long I'm going to be there. It's a great job. It's a reliable job. It pays very well. I'm treated very well. My coworkers are awesome. So it's a really, really great work environment. But when my business takes off and if I, reach some of my goals and my dreams with that, like, I'm going to have to miss some work for that, and things like that, because that is the dream. I want to be large and in charge, and I want to, audio engineering is not the only thing I'm interested in. And that's why, and same with singing, like, that's why I have this podcast, so I can talk about all of the other things I love to talk about and not just be the music, theater, dance girl. You know what I mean? Like, I have a lot of things that I like to talk about and I have a lot of interests. I'm a well-rounded person. See what I did there? So yeah, like, I need to be better about setting a boundary with work, and my boss is great at following my boundaries and respecting those, because he has them too, and I'm trying to be like him in that regard. And we have some really, really legit students on our crew, and so that are smarter than me, frankly. And so I think that'll make it easier for me to do that as well. Cause the last couple years it's been like, okay, I have to do a lot cause we're understaffed and people add things last minute. And again, part of me likes that because I like feeling needed and I like feeling wanted. But sometimes this crap is exhausting. So yeah, just better work-life boundaries and like work-business life boundaries. Cause I really want to I'm putting in a lot of effort to my business. But you can always do more. Okay. Last things last, that was not what I meant to say, but you know what I'm saying. Letting naturally stressed or anxious people stress me out. I think that one kind of speaks for itself. I'll just embellish a little bit. But sometimes people, have you ever met people who are just on edge all the time? Or they seem like they're on edge all the time. And it's just a little bit exhausting and you kind of don't know how they're going to react or how they're going to behave to certain things. I'm sure you're thinking of someone at some point in your life right now as I'm talking about this. And I found that makes me really stressed, anxious. So if someone comes up to me and is like, I need this thing. And they're like, and they're like stressed and they're high energy and they're, like kind of talking firmly or a little bit aggressively or whatever, that affects me a lot. And I tend to reciprocate that. And I've had to really, really check myself, in a lot of ways like that, and it really affects me, and it's really emotionally exhausting, not just to feel that way and to kind of get that energy like not rubbed on, but have that energy kind of pass to me, but it's also exhausting to fight it. It's exhausting to kind of stay calm. And I want to be the kind of person that when someone's stressed, they, and they ask me to do something, they're instantly calm. They're instantly relaxed. I want to be the person that relaxes people and helps them keep their head, even when things are going wrong, because things go wrong and it's okay. In my line of work, people don't die when things go wrong. It's gonna be okay, and so it's a really tricky thing. My boss is really good at doing this, and I want to be like that, where like he's really good at getting crap done quickly and efficiently. He's really good at calming people down while also validating and also making sure that the client knows or the coworker knows that we do care and we do take this just as seriously. It's a fine line, because if you're too lax, it'd be like, do you not care? Are you not taking this seriously? But if you're too intense, then you just bounce off each other and everybody's stressed, and that's just not helpful or productive. I don't think very clearly when I'm that way. Most people don't. And so, I want to be that calming force that when someone is anxious or, is having a hard time keeping perspective or whatever, that I can come across and help them feel like I care just as much as you do, We'll make it happen. We'll get it to work. We'll do our best, and it's all going to be okay. Like, I want to be that person for everybody. I try to be that person in my voice studio, and I want to be even more of that. So letting naturally stressed or anxious people stress me out. That's gotta go die in a hole. And calming, relaxing Tiffany is here to play. So anyways, that's all I have. That is my own personal graveyard that I'm gonna either try to work on or just straight up get out of my life. Some of that's easier to do than others. But yeah, I thought that would be the closest we're gonna get to some fun Halloween something, is taking things in my life and putting them in my metaphorical graveyard. So hopefully this was fun, and you thought of some of your own, because it was kind of fun to come up with. It was also very therapeutic, It was very therapeutic to kind of sit with myself and assess and reevaluate some things and be like, that's gotta go. Very, very healing for me. So if you have your own personal graveyard, I'd love to hear about it. I'd love for you to comment, things like that. Leave a comment on this episode, leave a comment on my Instagram, send me a text, things like that. Also, last thing, friendly reminder, I think I've decided that when my total podcast subscribers reaches 30 subscribers, I'm going to do a giveaway, and it's going to be a big box full of a lot of fun treats. I was getting some ideas from my nail tech today, and she has some cutesy things, some cutesy ideas. It's going to be a nice big box inspired by all of the guests I've had on so far. So you're going to want it. So you're going to want to tell your friends so that you can potentially win a giveaway on a goodie box. So make sure you tell your friends, have them listen, have them like, subscribe, rate, review. I think that's all of them. I think that covers Spotify and Apple Podcasts. But yeah, please do. I think it'd be really fun to do a giveaway. Everyone I've talked to has been like, that's a great idea. And I hope that those are the kind of people that would tell me if it was stupid. I think everyone likes a giveaway. I think everyone likes free stuff, and I don't have that many followers or things like that to where it's like, oh, I'm going to be one of 2 million people or anything like that, like your odds are actually pretty good because I am a small fry right now. So yeah, you're going to want to get it while the going's good. And it's going to be like, if people would respond to me, I'm going to have like some custom well-rounded stuff. I might throw in a Singing at Tiffany's thing. Maybe not. Might just keep it all just podcast well-rounded related stuff. Or I might throw in a free voice lesson, or something like that. And yeah, I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Honestly, I kind of want this goodie box, this giveaway prize box. So yeah, tell your friends, have them like, subscribe, have them listen. And again, if I've said this before, but if there's anything you want to hear, anything you want me to talk about, if you know someone who you think would make a good podcast guest, please give them my information, because I love to have them on. I can do virtual, as you've seen or heard, or I can do in person if they live in Utah County, as long as they feel comfortable recording here in my music room. I have an extra microphone. So, yeah. I think that's it. I'm gonna go drink some water, take a hot bath, and read my fairy book. I love you all. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much again for your patience through my navigating businessy things. There's not a lot of material out there for voice teachers, because a lot of business people are like, the last business I would start is a service business. It's like, well, you know what, Mr. Shark Face? These are the talents God has given me, and I have to make them work. Okay, and it's stupid to not try and get money from it. So thank you all, as I've done kind of cheesy content, stupid content, half-baked content. We're trying our best here. So thank you so much for your support, your patience, your kindness, and I will see you guys next week. Bye. Remember to tune in every Wednesday for Well-Rounded Wednesday, and please leave a rating and a review.